What up? It's your boy Conserviz34. On December 30th, 2021, the most destructive wildfire in Colorado history, the Marshall Fire, destroyed nearly 1,000 homes in Boulder County. As Boulder County trusted philanthropic partner for over 30 years, Community Foundation Boulder County will work closely with government and nonprofit partners to coordinate, align resources, and fill gaps to support those most impacted by the wildfires. The experience of this brand has shown us the importance of deep local relationships in meeting short and long term community needs in a crisis with equity, transparency, and integrity. I'm about to play a clip from a benefit for the Marshall Fire. And before I do that, I ask all of you to consider donating to this great cause. If you go to the video link, which I'll put in the description below, there is a way for you to donate to help those rebuild in the land and homes that they grew up in, that they lived in their whole life. And even some of those who have recently moved into some of these homes, this was their home. They want to rebuild, and times are not easy. The cost of lumber, the cost of metal, the cost of everything has gone up. And this is how we can help fellow Americans who suffered the loss of their home, the loss of their property, and help them to rebuild where they know and where they call home. If you go to www.comfound.org/wildfire fund, you'll be able to see the page I'm looking at right now. If you hit the donate button, it'll allow you to donate to help those in need. Your donation goes directly to those in need. This is a trusted site that was also backed by many bands who had a benefit concert earlier in this week. I'm now going to play Dave Matthews' Take Me to Tomorrow, a John Denver cover that Dave did during this benefit. There is a link to the stream that may have already expired, but I wanted to share this special moment with other people with the importance of stressing how important it is to donate to this great cause. This is Dave Matthews at the Marshall Fire benefit. Take Me to Tomorrow.
It was devastating fires, and I hope you're all doing all right considering that. I love Colorado, and it's hard to think of you all going through that. I thought I'd wish you the best. I thought I'd play a song by John Denver, who made Colorado his home because he loved it so much, and hang in there and everything. Hope you find the strength that you need. Hey, everybody, tell me, how do you feel? Are you satisfied with your life? Do you think it's real? Tell me, how is your head? What are your dreams? Do you have any plans? Come up with any scheme? Do you care about anybody? I'd like to know, do you care about anybody? What is the answer? Oh, take me to tomorrow, take me there today. I've had my fill of sorrow, living this way. Take me to tomorrow, swear I like to be, 'cause the day after tomorrow is waiting for me. The day after tomorrow is waiting for me. The day after tomorrow is waiting for me. Hey, everybody, tell me what's on your mind. Do you think there's nowhere else to go and nothing left to find? Are you happy where you are? Do you have anything to share? Oh, do you think you're gonna waste your life spending it here tomorrow is where I like to be, 'cause the day after tomorrow is waiting for me. The day after tomorrow waiting for me. The day after tomorrow is waiting for me. Take me to tomorrow, take me that a day I'll have my fill of sorrow living this way. Take me to tomorrow, it's where I like to be, 'cause the day after tomorrow is waiting for me. The day after tomorrow is waiting for me. The day after tomorrow is waiting for me.
Thank you, Dave Matthews, for contributing a song and for those kind words on behalf of those who've been impacted by the fire. I also want to thank those of you who've been scanning the QR code and going to the website of the Community Foundation and making tax-deductible contributions. We are raising a bunch of money tonight, and it's for a great cause. So thank you for that.
It's your boy, Chip, Conservist 34 in the building. Shout out everyone who was on IG Live earlier. Shout out to everyone who did their taxes. Welcome, 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 welcome. Great show tonight. This is a little bit of a double header. Thank you to everyone who was on Instagram Live earlier, 5 p.m. Eastern, who came in to watch me and Victoria. We had an awesome little get together with some other DMB fans on IG Live talking about songs we wanted to come back in rotation for 2022, songs we wanted to go away in 2022. And we talked a little bit about the new album as well. And we're going to talk, I'm going to give my thoughts on this new album. And let's take a look as well where we are at for on our Instagram Live poll. I asked a question. The question was, would you rather have an album from DMB come out in 2022 or 2023? Let's take a look here what people said. Wow. It is 50-50 right now. Instagram Conservist 34. You guys can vote right now. What's up, Mike? Great to see you coming in. So, yep, I said, what year would you prefer to have the next Dave Matthews Band album released? And sure enough, it is 50-50. It was a little bit more people wanted 2022, but that's interesting that it is 50-50 because we are at a crossroads right now. We're at a crossroads at this time for Away from the World and Come Tomorrow. We already knew that something was coming out. There was confirmation from the band that something was coming out. We are not at that point right now where there is any sort of confirmation from the band that an album is coming, right? We know we weren't expecting a single by now, but we were at least gonna, hey, probably get some sort of announcement. There were behind the scenes Instagram photos and videos from Rashawn last year. There were some other clues and other things that in the last couple of years that they're in the studio 100% for sure. But there still isn't anything that we know about. And shout out to antsmarching.org. It is going crazy in there. A lot of people, it's interesting how many people actually want a new album badly, regardless of what comes out of this. Um, yeah, there's a lot of different things that are going on. Stefan hasn't really been tweet. Stefan has been off Twitter. Someone probably spoke to Stefan. If we look at Stefan's Twitter, right? Let's look at this. Stefan Sard. He has not even been on politics now. Maybe it's because you know Donald Trump is off, but even after, uh, right after he got elected, there was he was still a little more aggressive. Stefan is kind of laid back, which I think is a good thing in the long run because he was just talking to trolls or people that he was never going to agree with. Yeah. I mean, he's been retweeting stuff lately. All this stuff is Ukraine, Ukraine, Russia, Ukraine. There's nothing about the album this year, right? Websites in Russia, Fonz playing the bass, Ukraine, 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 Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl, right? Legends, right? David Gilmour, Robert Plant. Shout out to Zeppelin and Pink Floyd. All right. Nothing about a new album, right? That's just about that's recently Olympics, Zeppelin, tour, tour, right? A reply from Tidal, Neil Young stuff. He's not arguing with the trolls, which is a good thing. But yeah, so Stefan isn't, there's nothing we're really getting. And that's crazy that it's still 50-50 on this here. But yeah, I mean there's not really anything that we've gotten. If and If you guys weren't at the Instagram live, one of the great points or questions Victoria brought up was, "Hey Luke, nice to see you out there in Cuyahoga County, Ohio, or in the greater or in Ohio in general." Um, but Victoria asked me, "Hey, do you think that the Dave solo song, something about my my baby, or something to tell my baby, right? Does that point towards something like an album coming out?" And to be honest, I didn't think it did. That's what's crazy. The only new thing we've gotten this year is Dave actually performed a song he never even told Tim about. He's like, Tim's never heard this. UComp plus 6,600. Let's let's go. What is the I just got back. Hold on. What's the score? UConn. I was watching the Sixers and UConn. Oh, it's 50-50 right now. Okay. Let's go Huskies. Oh, you're actually in Cleveland. All right. So the new album was teased in late 2020 when the Warehouse Sessions came out. Dave said that they were working on on noises and are very excited. Yeah. And then Rashawn, was that in 2020 or 2021? Rashawn was let's see if we can go to Rashawn's social media. Gonzaga's not winning. Stupid almanac. Gonzaga's not winning. They never win. They blow it. And I love this because I think the West Coast gets a lot way too much West Coast gets way too much they get way too many breaks. A West Coast team hasn't won since UCLA in what 95. Arizona is technically in the mountain time zone. A Pacific time zone team hasn't won since 95. Gonzaga, Matt, Matt, I don't know if you know, everyone's, including UConn fans, we're all mad at Providence because they didn't have to play games because of of the pandemic. They had a couple games canceled, so they're not playing UConn twice. We would have smoked them in Providence after losing against them. They're not remaking up games, so they just win the conference by not playing everything. Um, Thank you. Yeah, everyone hit that like button. All right, so you are right, Mike. It was more like 2020 that a lot of that stuff was. Rashawn was posted in early 2020. Right, so let's take a look at this. Ooh, excuse me. So now Rashawn this was for a separate project. This was Hollywood, right? He was in Hollywood for that. But let's go back to that's New York. Rest in peace to I believe it was his uncle. Someone he lost someone right around Madison Square Garden. Let's see. It's the gorge. Yeah. So let's take. That was 41 weeks ago, ironically, right? Yeah, this other picture here. We got orchestra stuff going on. Y'all don't know what's coming. DMB album music 41 weeks ago, right? So that's like, we're waiting. We're still waiting. You say I think Dave likes making an album every so often. They always get huge record sales, so it's financially viable. Yeah, the game has changed. The game has changed. And that's the thing is they're not going to sell. Even come tomorrow, they gave away stuff, right? Billboard does not recognize that. If you notice, nobody's doing that. You don't get a free download with the ticket anymore, at least for major acts, because it doesn't count towards the Billboard numbers, right? But the sales are going to be probably the lowest selling DMB album. One of the lowest selling albums of all time for DMB because streaming. Luke says, does DMB even need a new album? They have a really big discography. I think they should work on perfecting their live act as they get older. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. And this is why, if they're going to release an album, going back to my poll, I want them to release it in 2023. I want one more year of them going into their catalog. Last year was awesome. Because 2018 Come Tomorrow comes out. We get flooded with Come Tomorrow. 2018 was a good year to build momentum, and 2020 was supposed to be a mega year. And then the pandemic hit. But going back to this thing right here, oh, now it's 52 for 2020. So some of y'all just started voting. I see some of y'all voted. Shout out to everyone who voted. People say 2022. Here's my thing. Even though the Hollywood Bowl has been a signal, every time they play the Hollywood Bowl, the last two albums came out, right? I still think it should be 2023. I want another year to rock with, like, think about how they redid Sweet, even just road testing Madman's Eyes and The Only Thing, like, road test it for another year, but don't release a bevy of new songs in 2022. Test the song, have the catalog and explore some of the older stuff. Work on making this act sustainable. If that means, I honestly think, and this is my friend, shout out to my boy Pete. I honestly think they should cut the show by like 15 minutes, right? Now, how do you get that time back? You cut Jimmy thing a little bit. You don't need to have a 20-minute two-step. You cut Seek Up a little bit because Seek Up has just become a shouting match at the beginning, right? cut a little bit of time off a couple of songs, even cut a song or two. But they have to get the problem is the reason that Carter is so like exhausted is it's all or nothing. They're playing they play longer now than they played in 1995, right? They've added songs. In a couple of years, like 2003, I believe, all the sets were a little bit shorter. So like they play the longest, their longest shows. Like, yes, there were some shows that were just the longest show ever or second longest. Some of the Alpine nights and other shows. There was a Hartford night that was pretty long, but all of their shows are fairly long now. They're like 2.5 hours of music, let alone the breaks in between the musician, the personnel changes, right? In 95, they played 9 songs a night. Yeah, so it's a lot shorter. Now, Luke says, I remember, speaking of the album sales, I remember a joke. It's like, yeah, you get free copies of Come Tomorrow when you buy a ticket, right? Limit 8 per person. Yeah, and it was like, you could get like, if you bought something from the merch store, literally, this was the thing. From the merch store, they they had like if you bought X amount, like $50 in merch, you got a free copy of Come Tomorrow as well. They were giving that thing out, and it still didn't they still like didn't come close to like selling as much as Big Whiskey and some of the other stuff. So this thing's gonna be hard. It's not gonna be its best selling album, even if this is better than Big Whiskey, even if it comes close to the big three albums, right? It's not gonna outsell because everyone is streaming now. Few people are gonna buy a digital copy of this album, right? I mean, yes, all of us fans will, but that's still like that could be 20,000 people, really. Dave always says I have like about 20,000 fans that go everywhere. If all of us fans that were like we consider ourselves huge fans were on the forums buy an album, that's only like 20,000. And Matt says as far as I remember at SPAC when Carter just walked off to the right after because the man was so gassed. Yeah, like and listen, this is like a Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan thing. They only had one gear to the point where you saw Jordan, like, take away the Wizards, right? Jordan had one gear, really. He was going hard. He didn't have like a 50% gear. And that's how Carter is. Carter is now he's playing a little bit softer now, and just like Jordan would take more shots when he got older in his career. When he was younger, he would be driving to the hole and getting bruised and hit and smashed by all these players. But Carter's got a little smarter. Carter has a little bit of a jump shot, like a Carmelo Anthony has done in the last 5 to 6 years. Gotten that 3-point shot, but he's still going hard. So I think the band should slow down. Now, I pose this question in the Ants Marching forums because there are people. And listen, if you want a new album, there's nothing wrong with that. I get it. They haven't released something in a while. I honestly just don't need another DMB album. There's so much music that I love and enjoy from there that I want to see come back. I want to see And Another Thing. I want to see Up and Away. I want to see Dodo. I want to see a lot those B-side type of songs from Some Devil need to come out. Trouble. I would love Trouble to come out. I would love If I Had It All to make regular appearances. I would love Sleep to Dream Her to make regular appearances with this band. I would love Captain to be in rotation. Busted Stuff to be in rotation, right? I don't need another album to be entertained by this band. And I listen to this band every day almost. Probably I do listen to them every day as I'm still getting into new bands like Phish and Goose, right? And listening to them a lot of my time. I love this band, but I don't really need any more music from them. I understand why. But I just can't, it's hard for me to comprehend people who say, like, let's just say this year, right? They start busting out Shotgun, they bring back Busted Stuff because they're only going to do a certain amount. But let's just say they start bringing back some gems. They do another Sweet, like how Sweet was remade. Let's say they remake another song. are you going to be, I can't comprehend someone in the back of their mind being like, wow, they're playing the hits like that we want. They're playing the deep cuts. And oh yeah, Goose is on right now. Shout out to Brett. Yes, and they were just in my, I'm from Connecticut. So I've heard about them as they were coming up. Like people were going to shows here. Um but the point is, I can't have, I don't know how someone could be like, if this summer has a great variety of the hits and deep tracks are brought back that we haven't seen in a while, like a Shotgun, we probably won't get that. Right now is not the best time to bring back Shotgun. It's, with everything going on in the world. But hey, bring it back, right? I wouldn't be mad if they brought it back. But if they start bringing back like Dodo, or if they bring back Dreaming Tree, hey, typical times, Ron from Colorado. If they bring back Dreaming Tree for just like 5 plays this year, how are you going to be like, hey, they brought back Dreaming Tree. They still play Jimmy Thing. They still play Sledgehammer. They still play Don't Drink the Water, whatever you want from DMB, you and May, as I call it. They're doing everything for deep cuts and the best of what's around from this band that everyone loves, the mainstream hits. How can you be like, hey, I want a new album, I want some new music, this was a great show, but I want studio versions of Madman's Eyes and of The Only Thing? Like, they're great songs, there are solid songs played last year, but if they play those songs live and they don't expand it any further as far as new live songs, and they go back into their catalog and start busting out some everyday songs, busting out some busted stuff songs, busting out some unreleased stuff, I think that would be a better year right now. And then next year, let's look at a new album. Because album tours, I'm telling you guys, album tours just now, yes, for someone who's going to one show a year, if you want to hear new music, that's fine. But and I get that. That's more of the most of those people who only go to one show a year, many of them are not listening. And listen, I welcome everyone. If you're only going to one show a year and you want to hear about what's going on, I'm here for you. But most people who go one show a year, a lot of them want the hits too. Now I get some people would love to hear, because most tours are about the new music, right? Most the average artist tours on a new album or they tour on nostalgia. Well, here's the thing. Ron from Colorado says, go to the Gorge. It sums it all up. It does, but still, a Gorge year with the album, you're going to get that album played out, and there's less spots where rare songs could come out. So it's like, if you go to the Gorge, yes, you're going to get everything, but you're still going to, there's a better opportunity cost. It's about the opportunity cost of getting as many songs as possible that aren't new songs. Because what the Gorge becomes, like, let's just look at the year. Let's look at some of these touring years, right? What the Gorge becomes is the new album takes up spots where they could play classic stuff. So let's look at 2018, for instance. 2018 at the Gorge, right? You have 5 Come Tomorrow songs night one, right? And then you have Old Dirt Hill and Spaceman, right? And there's nothing wrong with Spaceman, but there are other songs I'd rather them bring back than Spaceman. Spaceman it's actually it's a great song, but it's a great song, but at the same time, listen, I'd rather have something else at the Gorge. I'm sorry. And I heard Spaceman with Branford Marsalis. That was amazing. I've heard Spaceman with Stanley Jordan. My first Spaceman, Stanley Jordan, killed it on his little electric guitar. That's more of a cleaner sound. Night two of the Gorge, 4. So night 1 there were 5 Come Tomorrow. Night 2 there were 4, and you do get a last stop, right? This is one of the last stops with the full thing in 2018, right? Because they with the that has the outro, like the extended outro. Night 3, you have 3 Come Tomorrow songs. So we have 3, like that's a lot of songs. if there was no Come Tomorrow, right? So let's look at 2019. So if we go to, let's get a sticky note here. If I can okay. So for a year, George 2018, 5 night one, right? There were 4 night two, 3 night three, or 12 Come Tomorrow songs. Let's look at Gord's 2019. So I'll bring this back in a second. We're gonna go to 2019. This is the year I went. And Luke, I think you said something about single one song encores. I would rather them shorten the main set and have a setup song and then the regular encore. I don't like a one. If it's a good song, like if they end with "Lion Our Graves" like Mohegan, although there was multiple songs in that encore, it would be awesome. But I'd rather have that setup, a Some Devil, an acoustic. Oh, like okay. So this is my first show, right? There's 2 Come Tomorrow songs, right? Night 1. Okay, let's go to night 2. I'm doing this live on the air with you guys. Didn't even research this. Straight off the top. And you don't stop. Night 2, 3, night 2. Right? Yeah, Shake Me Like a Monkey closers. Yeah. You should never have a shake me closer to close a show. I mean, shake me should never ever close a show. Said killer, when you kill my set, can you make it shallow so that I can see? I can see. So 3, night 3. That's 9 Come Tomorrow songs, right? So there were 4 more Come Tomorrow songs. Okay, can you guys even see this? We're gonna zoom in. Trying to see if I can zoom in. I don't know if it'll let me zoom in here. Oh, here we go. All right. I don't know why it's not letting me zoom in. I don't know if you guys can even see this. Yeah, it's too small, right? Oh, I can't zoom in. But essentially, there were 4 more Come Tomorrow songs. So there were 4 more Come Tomorrow songs in 2018, the year Come Tomorrow came out, than there were in 2019. That's 4 songs that you could put anywhere else with the set list. Give me that. Give me 4 more songs. Right? Luke says we should do a game with the worst set list. Oh, that would be pretty funny. Right? So that's the thing is I would rather have, and the thing is like this year So I know, Ron, you're out at the Gorge. I can't do the Gorge this year. I did it in 19. I did it in 21. I can't do it this year. I just can't, right? I mean, I can't, I have the money. It's not fiscally responsible for me to do it. The flight, the hotels, all that stuff, right? I live on the East Coast. It's harder. Like if you're in Colorado, it's an easier flight out to Washington. But I can't do Gorge. So I'm doing SPAC, I'm doing Alpine. So just think of that. Like I am going to Alpine for the first time. I would rather have them just do what they were going to do than have an album where we're getting a bunch of stuff. And let's even look at that 2018, right? I'm going to Deer Creek for the first time. Let's see if we have. And one of these shows made the live tracks, but look at this. So there were 4 Come Tomorrow songs, night 1, 2018. Night 2, there were 5. That's 9 songs, 9 Come Tomorrow songs, and about 40 performances, right? 6, 7. No, 39 songs. Right? That's still a lot of songs, but 9 of them are. All right. Wait, am I looking at the right one? Oh, wait, 20 songs, right? So Come Tomorrow, 4, 6, and 7, 7. So 40 songs, and 9 of them are Come Tomorrow. So 39, 38, 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31. So 31 of the songs were non-Come Tomorrow. Still a solid weekend, right? They had some great stuff, but I would rather have it different. So 2019. So there were 9 songs in 2019. Like I said, I'm going to Deer Creek. So in 2019, there were only 2 Come Tomorrow songs night 1. And then 4. So that's 6 instead of 9. So 3 less Come Tomorrow songs. That means, hey, maybe you get a 2-step because there's not as many Come Tomorrow songs. Maybe you get a Fool to Think because there's not as many Come Tomorrow songs. They played it a lot at Deer Creek. They played it 8 times there, which is pretty impressive, right? Maybe you get an idea you was Come Tomorrow. Never mind. And that's the other thing too. Is like, all right, now I can subtract another song because they played Idea of You, right? Instead of one of the stale Come Tomorrow songs. Right. And then Mike's talking about, yeah, they had to shorten the set list. I think they played Shake Me Like a Monkey for that as a quick encore because the wind was bad that year. He's talking about, yeah. But now here I want to get back to Brett said something about Phish. I'm going through the comments. The thing about Phish, this is where Phish excels, in my opinion. There's no debate in this Phish community. So as far as the set list, yes. The biggest difference is a Dave Matthews Band song takes a lot more energy than a Phish song to play. That's why Dave doesn't have as much variety. As far as Phish themselves, their music is very, very hard. I'm learning that as if you follow my series Phish Noob, and I have a playlist called Phish Noob. If you look it up, Phish Noob playlist. Boom. Phish for Noobs. Mine should come up because I have playlists. Library. Shit, I gotta check that. Yeah, so playlist, Phish Noob. right? This should be a public playlist, but you can check it out. Phish Noob, right? But Phish songs take less energy to exert from the band. They literally can just play out their set list, and also there's not as much singing. Vocally, it's not as challenging. So, oops, let me get out of here. Gotta see my YouTube stuff. But yeah, Phish is not as challenging as far as exerting energy. It's harder to play. Like some of the Phish stuff is harder. Their jams are more subtle, but they're not exerting as much energy. DMB comes off that stage sweating. Not that Phish doesn't, but they're not singing as much. It's much more jam based, which is easier for the endurance part of it. These guys just know their scales, they know their improv skills. They're the best at what they do, I think, in my opinion. And I've only had a year of listening to them. They're the best modern jam band, in my opinion, is Phish. I've gone to other acts, but I mean, nothing really compares to Phish. Goose is up there. Goose is on the rise, and they may take them over. They may pass the crown off to them as far as the way things are going and the community they're building. But Phish, yeah, that's right. Phish and DMB are like, if you listen to both of them, what I'm finding is it completes everything. The stuff DMB doesn't do, playing out the set list, the subtleties in the jams, Phish does. The things that Phish doesn't do, which is to have a hit song, to have a well-written song with great vocals, like solid vocals, DMB does that. The other knock on Phish is, to me, I know this is what most jam bands do, but you don't have, like, Trey doesn't play a 12-string guitar. He doesn't play a baritone guitar. He pretty much plays the same guitar offset if it's an electric, 2-set show. He has a bunch of different genres he can flow into, but he plays the same guitar. DMB is the exact opposite. Dave will play his baritone. He'll play his, the red guitar, the Villette Griffin, whatever way it is. So yeah, they complete each other. Dave and DMB and Phish. And the downside to Phish is, if you really want to catch a song, if it's played 2 nights before, if it's played the week of, you're probably not hearing that song. Like, I'm going to oh, by the way, I will have a video on this. I got a ticket to MSG. Yeah, he plays the same guitar, but I've listened to it and I've seen some of the effects, but at the same time, it's still the same guitar. So he doesn't have like a Strat. He doesn't have a. Hey Matt, if you're going to a show, you should go to the Matt, go to the Saturday, April 23rd. I just got a ticket. Shout out to Phish at MSG. Shout out to him. He posted on Twitter, there's ticket drops. Whatever people canceled or whatever was refunded. I don't know how it worked with the I think they did refunds. So you could get a refund, right? There was a period. There were ticket drops today. And I got a seat. Now let me know what you think, Brett. I got a seat behind the stage. And I've sat for Billy Joel behind the stage. I got it in the 200 level, directly behind the stage at MSG for face value. But there was a ticket drop, and I got it for Saturday night. It's the last show of that run. But I know most people say, like, hey, for your first Phish show, you want to try to get here, here, or here. But my first Phish show will be April 23rd at MSG. I'm excited for that. Anyway, so, but if Divided Sky is played any of those nights, I can almost guarantee 100%. Matt, are you going to be there Saturday? What day are you going? Are you going Friday or Saturday? We got them if you're going Saturday. Let me know, Matt, if it's Saturday, because I'm going the 23rd. I picked up a ticket today through a ticket drop. There were some behind the stage seats that were released at face value. There's a lot of platinum seats. Oh, you're gonna be. Oh, we gotta. All right, we gotta link up. I'll hit you up because I got your number and everything. But we'll link up on the side. I'm excited for that. And I'll be yelling Matt if when we meet up. I'm gonna be like, "Hey, this guy's a Boston sports fan. Boo him!" Right? Nah, it's kidding. I'll be in New York City. He's a Sox fan. Hey, he's a freaking Sox fan. Boo him. They'll be trying to fight him. Actually, there'll be nothing to fight about because they're with this lockout. Which actually, um, so anyway, as you guys can see, I want to tour in 2020. I want the album to come out in 2023. I'm with the 48%. Speaking of baseball, what I really want to just have a PSA. Most of you guys know this, right? Most of you guys know this, and I can attest from people who work for Ticketmaster and Live Nation. Matt, you'll be fine. The thing about MSG and like a lot of stuff in New York is people don't really fight like that. At a Yankees game in the bleachers, yeah, you'll be done. But even so, New York is especially a Phish show. There's gonna be people from Boston out there. Like people travel for these shows. Talking to people, I was talking to a couple different people about that. But they'll do like some of the itineraries on forums of people. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna do this show. I'm gonna drive 6 hours that way. I'm gonna go to like some people are trying to go from like Maine to Philly, like middle of nowhere Maine to Philly for this Phish tour. So like that's a crazy like there's a let's see if we can find it. And then we'll get to the baseball. We're gonna talk about Ticketmaster. Where is it? Phish tour. Like I can't even imagine this. There's so many 2 night stands, right? So there is oh yeah, so right here, right? There's some people that are gonna go from this amphitheater to Philly. So they're gonna do Xfinity Center, 14, 15, 16, and then they're gonna go down to Philly for both nights. And then there some people are gonna hit Bethel. I'm gonna be at this show, July 24th. I have a lawn seat. I'm gonna try to get a better seat in the on sale and flip the lawn for a loss. But like just to give you guys an idea. Oh dang, UConn lost. Okay, so Main Savings Amphitheater, the Man, and actually Dave and Tim played the Man um, in Philly. It's a smaller theater. DMB would never do it. It's like a SPAC type theater. It's very intimate, but it's too small for DMB. Camden is much bigger. Um, you guys realize if SPAC like if there was an amphitheater built in like Albany, New York, the band probably wouldn't do SPAC. They would do a bigger amphitheater in Albany, New York. There just isn't another theater out there. And SPAC is legendary. So that's the thing about the Man in Philly. Most people do Camden, New Jersey. I'm surprised Phish didn't do Camden. Maybe they couldn't book it because they were later with their tour. Man, Philly. Okay. So people are gonna do this type of this drive. So you do have a couple of days, right? So 16th, 17th, and 18th, you have a couple of days. But there are people talking about driving all the way up east, middle of nowhere, Boonies, Maine, all the way down 551 miles, not fly, drive, right? Oh, you said Phish normally does Camden. It must be a conflict. Yeah. But look at that. People are literally going to drive this route 8 hours and again, they're going to go to add another stop here. People are going to go right from Mansfield, Xfinity Center, Mansfield, right? So this is a 13 hours of driving, right? And let's say they live in Boston, right? So they go to Xfinity Theater, man, and then they're going to go to Bethel Woods, right? Oops. Gonna do Bethel Woods. All right. This is 893 miles. So they're gonna go from Boston up to Maine, down to Philly, back up to Bethel Woods. So this is like what people are planning. Yes, people do this for DMB, but I'm saying like people are literally just going to be on the road for a couple weeks with Phish, just chilling. And then they go to Hartford. They'll be in Hartford for a show after this. So you can add Hartford, right? Xfinity, right? It's 1,000 miles, 16 hours of driving. This route has tolls. I bet it does. Actually, yeah, the Mass Pike and the New York City Thruway and the Jersey Turnpike, you are going to have tolls galore. The George Washington Bridge. Oh, this has you, yeah. Yeah, it takes taking the GW. You probably want to take the Tappan Z. Anyway, as you can see, there's a lot right there that's going on. All right, before you head out, I do want to talk about this because okay. So here's the thing. Shout out to Matt. And Matt, you know this almost better than me because I like as much as I've been watching baseball longer than you, you are much more tuned into the salary caps and the teams and all that. I'll be honest, I don't watch as much baseball as I used to. But there's a lot going on in America. And you're seeing it with the MLB lockout and you're seeing it with Ticketmaster. And this is why we need to treat the Ticketmaster owners and baseball players better, right? Going to the MLB lockout, like less than 50% of people of like less than 50% of people are millionaires as far as I think it's in the majors, right? You have a sport in baseball where salaries are going down. The amount that they're paying the average person is going down and revenue is going up. But what happens is they want to paint the players as the evil, rich, wealthy people. Most people play the average career span in MLB is like 2 years. So even if you're making $500,000 a year or $1 million, that's 2 years. And then you're pretty much back to the minors making nothing. Right. And most people, if you work 10, 15 years, you're going to make $1 million. So for baseball players could work somewhere else. Many of them do. But the point is, the thing that they've trained their whole life for, the average person will have 2 years. If you make it that far, the average MLB player will have 2 years in the majors. Then they're out of here. And most of them have contracts. They have minor league contracts, right? They don't even get that big major league contract. So the owners are the ones to me that are the greedy ones. They're making more money. They have less salary, and they're still complaining. The TV contracts go up. How does this relate to Ticketmaster? Because Ticketmaster / Live Nation, even your regional folks, a lot of them are getting paid less money or this about the same money to do the job that their predecessor did. So when we go to these venues, when we look at the people managing these venues, we need to show them respect because it's the corporate at the top of the chain, at the corporate level. That's where the greed is. It's not even the people that are in the regional positions at Ticketmaster. These venues, they have to pay these bands. They have to pay these bands to show up. So like all the platinum ticket revenue, all this other stuff, that's like, listen, it's ridiculous in a lot of cases. You have seats second to last row. Let's go to Live Nation right now and see. But what I'm saying is, I know people that have worked at these venues, that manage these venues, here in Connecticut, right? I can't speak outside of Connecticut, but I know people who have worked at these venues, and I'm telling you, they're not driving a BM. Like, I know a BMW is not naturally, it's not as the status symbol used to be, but they're not driving a Beamer around, and they don't have a like. They're hustling. And with this pandemic, a lot of people I haven't even checked in on certain people because a lot of these like family friends, they were when I was younger. I saw them now. Some of them are older, some of them are retired. So I don't have as much of an ear to this to the Xfinity Center theater seats. But like let's look at like some of these seats are like a platinum seat. Let's look at what platinum seats are. Oh, that's a standard ticket. But this is a platinum seat for 179 bucks. That's back pavilion. Oh, you want an aisle seat? Oh, 179.50. This is the $95 price point. But because this is an aisle seat, oh, too bad, so sad. 179. Even over here, even like outside of the aisle, because they know people are gonna want to buy four together. This is the last row of the line. So this type of stuff, I don't know what McCartney's charging, man. I actually will look that. I'll have to. That'll actually be a thing. I remind me if I don't do that. But we should look at the market because as much as DMB charges, everyone else charges more, as they should. It's Paul McCartney, bruh. Paul McCartney, Beatle, the Beatles, Wings, right? He's a legend. He's one of the most famous bass players and arguably one of the most important bands or the most important band in rock and roll music. Some people will argue the Stones, right? Zeppelin, whatever. But there's a certain demographic that they were into rock music because of McCartney. But this platinum seat right here, this is not going to the workers at this venue. It's not even going to, again, the regional managers. This money is going to the stockholders and it's going to the people at the top of the chain. Because just like baseball, there's more money coming in. Now, obviously, there was a pandemic. Yes, I get that. But there's money coming in, more money, and more people are going to shows. The prices are higher, right? We look at some of these platinum seats, 480 bucks. Wow. Huh. This isn't Deer Creek. This isn't SPAC. This is, no offense, this is the Woodlands. This is a one-off show on a Friday. It's a staple of the beginning of the tour. There are DMB fans in Texas. It's not to offend you, but it's not SPAC. I would expect a platinum seat at SPAC to be 480, and they're actually a lot more. They're like almost 1,000, right? Right, but these seats right here, 430. Oh, you can save a little bit. 430 right here. Sit on the aisle, right? 430. And then you got these resale tickets that most of these people are brokers, 665. On a single ticket, still 4,875. Not going to give you a break because you're just going by yourself. But this money is going to the people at the top. It's going to other things. It's not going to the worker. Many of these workers, their jobs were threatened. Many of these workers were doing the jobs of 4 or 5 other people that were laid off during the pandemic, right? Your regional managers, your general manager, whatever these titles are. So when we go to these shows, we need to treat everyone with respect. The people that are at these venues not only love this, but they're grinding. I know, shout out to the teachers. I know a teacher, right? A friend who I went to college with, she works at the Xfinity Theater in the summer to make extra money because, listen, teachers don't get paid a god dang enough for what they do and what they got to put up with. Even in Connecticut, where we have some of the highest salaries, Massachusetts has, I think, the highest salaries for public school teachers. Still not enough. So when we go to these venues, we need to show respect to the people. And I think most of you guys get that. But don't criticize the local people. This is all at the top of the chain. All right. This is all different things. And a lot of this is They are creating a false sense of demand, right? It's a false sense of demand, especially for some of these non-SPAC and Alpine and Deer Creek weekends, right? Some of these tickets will ultimately $525, right? Because you're right at the mix, right? You're right next to the boxes in the mix, right? $447. A lot of these tickets will go down in price closer to the event. And a lot of this is a bait and switch. Let's go to Xfinity Center. I'll show you a lot of seats, huh? But a lot of what's going on too, they are using algorithms and they are using different techniques to make it appear that there were no tickets left, right? So you'll see tickets pop up, like see some of this gray, right? Some of these tickets will be available as drops, right? Meaning closer to the event, they'll come up as at face value. This ticket right here, 762.50. Are you kidding me? I know it's right above the pit, but come on, man. Come on, man. If you give, you begin to live. You get the ticket right in front of the pit. So, like, some of these seats are available. Some of these seats are available even to the entourage of the band or the band's family and friends, right? But some of these tickets are going to pop up. So if you didn't get a seat at the Xfinity, you still have opportunities. By the way, all this rush to get tickets, look at all these tickets are still available. Now, yes, these aren't like a million tickets, but let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm just like, there's around 20 tickets here still available after everything. Now, what they're doing is they're marking them up for platinum. But these seats will be available. These are broker seats, right? 268. They're trying to get people that want to go in a bigger group. You can buy these together. 4 together on the aisle, 269. These are going to go down. Actually, these are really good seats right here. If you can go right in front, and the thing is right at the front of the mid pavilion, you can see over everything. 393. Okay. So, but the thing is, right, at the end of the day, there's a false sense of demand. There's a rush for the one sound. All the way, by the way, all these open air seats, right? All these open air seats. Now they're gonna try to sell these as IO, so these are verified resale. Oh, that's 49. This is funny. This is 49.50. It's a single ticket. Now there may be a column blocking it. Some of these seats right here for Xfinity are actually in the lawn. This was part of the lawn, and they built seats out here a couple of decades ago, right? But it's funny. This is a $50 seat. The seat over here is $95. $95. This may be 50. Yep, 49. So you can get a single ticket. You can get a little bit of a deal. Now I think these may also be, it says full V, but sometimes the columns get in the way. So if you want to, oh, that's 95. What's that? That's platinum. Yeah, look at this. Yeah, the first row. And then, by the way, there's a walkway right here. Matt knows what I'm talking about. There's a walkway right here. So you probably do have to stand them. Otherwise, if you try to sit and look over, and even if you stand, there's going to be people walking by. And this is what Matt says. Here's the thing with the MLB. They moan and groan about money, but without a product, they aren't making any money, and it's affecting everywhere. Top to bottom. Yes, it is. I think, though, just canceling one series is not going to pinch the pockets that hard because it's so profitable. Oh, your first DMB show was right there. Oh, where's seats in the joint? Do not buy those seats from Matt. Yeah. I've never sat in the open air. I've been in the lawn. I've sat in lawn twice at Mansfield, or I've sat in the, what is this stuff? Like all these like mid pavilion sections, all these sections right in front of, not the lower, but the mid pavilion. So 6, 7, 8, right? 5, like 4 through 8, I think it is. But Yeah, once if the players hold out and the the MLB teams can't afford another lost season, the teams themselves, because they had all the pandemic. Some of them took out pandemic. All right, I'm back. I'm back, folks. See what happens when you talk about what's going on in the world. YouTube cuts the stream, man. They tried to cut the stream on your boy. allegedly, the powers that be like, oh, he talk about Ticketmaster and the MLB. Manfred's like, yo, cancel the stream. Cancel the stream. Manfred saw me. He got his goons out, allegedly. It's like, oh, he's talking about the MLB. Anyway, as you can see, I just hope that we need to go into these venues with respect. I think you guys do, but again, the frustrations you have with tickets, listen, a lot of it's on the band. If the band really wanted to stand up. And again, some of it's tough on those end. Let's look at Pearl Jam. Matt, look at Pearl Jam. You're still on, Matt. Pearl Jam has to do these ballparks. Like even in Live Nation, they don't have the relationships they have. Pearl Jam hasn't done the Gorge since what, 2006? And that's a Live Nation venue. A lot of what they've done, they've severed ties with parts of Live Nation. And you see, they have to do these ballparks. So it's a very complex world, but some of it is on the band. The band, from what I've been told, allegedly makes deals with Live Nation to let Live Nation sell some of these platinum tickets, right? But it's a tough thing because Live Nation owns a lot of venues. Listen, they're these like I said, the people that are working, the people that you're gonna see, people that are doing a lot of this stuff, you're never gonna see in real life unless you're going to um unless you're in some high society. You're not seeing these people face to face. The people, even if you speak to a regional manager, right? These are people that are just trying to feed their family. Yes, they may get a bigger salary, but they deserve like what they gotta do to get all these venues up to code, and there's a cost. They only can spend so much on it. And it's hard to hire good help right now at these venues. Some of these venues are struggling to hire enough security, enough people to work the food concessions because people are with the 2020 and 2021, people are fed up, right? I've made a career change, right, in my own industry. And I'll say where I am now, I feel so much better than the last position. And it's not even the fact that my last employee, like a lot of it was the job I was doing at that employer. It was a great, they're both great companies. But I was like, wow, I just switched my job. I can make, and I make just as much, and I have a pension. Like just to let you know, I'm just saying, like now I get a pension. I have to, I have to work into it. But I found like this year, like I got better health benefits and all this stuff just by having a new, like applying for a different job. And listen, the last job was tough; it didn't end well. But I'm glad where I'm at. I love the people I work with. I love the people I used to work with, but it just the job was more stressful in the insurance industry. Now my job is so much. It's still I got to put in work. Like right now, it's we got a little more than we had, but I love the job, and it's just a better fit for me right now. Um, so it's tough. This is not a shot. If anyone watching my page, this is not a shot at the people. Again, at these venues that are having to do the day to day. I'm sure they're just as frustrated, right? Because to run these venues to try to work on the margins that they're told by because Live Nation, they have to produce for the stockholders. And you got all these people trying to buy into Live Nation, Ticketmaster. Foreign interests are buying into Ticketmaster, Live Nation. There's a lot of pressure. I'm not saying what they're doing is right for the consumer, but there's a lot of pressure and it gets passed down to these venues. And these venues are not getting, if you go to Mansfield, if you go to Hartford, Connecticut, these venues have not had really big upgrades. Where if you go to like the Madison Square Garden or the TD Garden, if you went to either of those venues for Dave shows in 2010 versus now, the venues are not the same. The seats are different, right? The seats are completely different in parts of the sections in 2010 versus 2019 or 2020 or 2021. some of the entrances, some of the concourses, these venues, the arenas are driven because they have professional sports teams that are bringing in more revenue, more consistent money, and it's year round, not just seasonal. Where the amphitheaters are seasonal, even in LA, like they don't have stuff at the Hollywood Bowl in December, really. People don't tour there, they tour inside because it can still get pretty chilly. There can be some rainy seasons in January, February, or El Nino or La Nina, one of those joints. So they don't have stuff in the winter at the Hollywood Bowl that are big concerts, right? They may have a benefit concert that pops up there if the weather's good. So that's where we're at. Thank you guys for being on. Hit the like button. Let me see where I'm at with I have one, I believe last I checked, I'm trying to get to 800. I have 799 subscribers. If you can get somebody to like my page and check it out and really tell them, hey man, this boy, my boy Conservist 34, man, he's all about the people. He loves the music. He loves talking. I'm trying to get to 800. And but I appreciate, listen, everyone who's been on. It's about the quality of people. I love hearing from you guys. Some of you guys, I have your phone number. We met on this street, right? It wasn't like we just pulled up, right? Some of you guys I've had long conversations with, right? I've been to shows with you guys. So I enjoyed this journey and I love doing this. That's why I'm on here for the second time today. I did the IG live for an hour, and I'm on here for an hour and 18. And it's a lot of work to get this stuff going, but I love it. The video editing, oh my gosh, I have so much respect. I always did, but as I'm trying to get better into the video editing, it is it's time consuming. If I was just like, if that's my job, I have a communications background, so I kind of know some of the stuff. But like to make this, even
Sorry, so sorry.
even this video to get it up, um, it didn't take that long, but it's still like I tried to get it up as quickly as possible, and I had to make sure everything was perfect on this one. So and again, this was, I know, listen, someone commented about this. They'll probably stream. Listen, I get that, and I was conflicted with this here as far as to put this up, but I purchased the stream. I made a donation, a personal donation, and I wanted to share this with other people. And I only put a little bit of this. I put this and Trey up. I didn't put everything else up. But this thing has passed just for this comment. The Peter Frampton fandom. If you're watching this, respectfully, the stream is over. Right? You want to try to access to the full stream? It's expired. Right? This event has expired. I can't even access this. Right? It's available for 24 hours after purchase. So I get it. Listen, if it didn't get approved, if this video didn't get approved, I would have took it down. Right? I got cleared by whoever runs the estate for John Denver, because that's where the money would go. It's a John Denver cover. They cleared it, right? If it wasn't cleared, I wouldn't put it up. There's been a couple times like I had a Taking Back Sunday uh, reaction video. Shout out to Taking Back Sunday. I used to be into that alt rock, pop punk, emo stuff. I'm not afraid to admit it. I used to love Taking Back Sunday and some of those other bands. And they wouldn't let me do this reaction video. Hey, I took it down. I respect the different privacy and copyright. But I wanted to share this with you guys. It's nothing that he hasn't played before, too. That's the other thing is, but I want you guys. Some of you guys may have done this to donate again to the Marshall. So the Boulder County Wildfire Fund. This goes directly. This goes directly to those who are in need. Right. Right. How will the money be spent? We work with our government, nonprofit partners to disperse the funds impacted. Committee has been created. How much has been raised? 34 million as of March 2nd. So there's a 2% administrative fee. You can look at all this. Colorado gives 2% transaction fees. So these transaction fees go to that. So, and you can help out directly in these little things. So check out this page again. I will put this in the chat right now. This is the some reason I lost whatever was in my chat before. This is the you can go and donate. That's all I have for right now. That's what we'll do. We're gonna end on Phish. Check out Phish Noob. Um, follow me on Twitter. But Phish Noob is a series. I'll be making a video within the next week about some of my experiences with Phish ticketing, the on sale, and getting an MSG spot. So let's skip. We're gonna just do Ghost. Find it. All right, we're gonna end on Ghost by Phish. Don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you guys for watching. This is Phish Ghost. It's your boy Concertbiz34. I'll see you guys Saturday. Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern. Thank you guys for the support. YouTube Concertbiz34. Also Twitter and Instagram Concertbiz34. Peace.
I feel I never told you the story of the ghost that I once knew and talked to, of whom I never boast. This was my big secret, how I get ahead and never have to worry. I'd call him instead. His answer came in actions. He never spoke a word. And maybe I laid down the phone before he could be heard. I somehow feel forsaken, like he had closed the door. I guess I just stopped needing him as much as once before.